Why do they have to, why can't it just sound like, okay. Yesterday, Harry Styles released a new music video called Watermelon Sugar, and today it has, let's see, 12.5 million views. I mean, that's incredible. I can't do that. See, but I can't help but just notice a couple of things. Now, as you may have gathered in my last video, I am not in the business of tearing down music that probably a lot of people like. I mean, that I don't even necessarily dislike. I think a few of you said on my last video, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I might be a little more than disappointed here. I don't understand why things continue to get made that don't make sense, that blatantly just don't really sound that good. But it's almost like we just say, well, we're close to the deadline, it'll work, it'll be fine. I don't know, maybe that's exactly what happens. Is it really that much just purely about money? I would like to think, it's probably a huge part of it, but maybe not all of it. And here's the thing, I'm not ragging on Harry Styles here, because there's plenty of talent there and plenty of music that does sound good.
Don't call me baby again, you got your reasons. I know that you're trying to be friends, I know you mean it.
And that's why it leaves me so frustrated when I hear things like this. Let me explain. So this song is pretty standard. I mean, it leaves you a little bit going. For somebody that has had so much success with One Direction and just as himself and as an actor, and Dunkirk was phenomenal, it leaves you just kind of wondering, why make something, how do I say this without sounding too harsh, so musically useless? Nope, I did it. I sounded too harsh, I'm sorry. But this is a person that could literally do anything he wants. He could explore all kinds of different genres and people are gonna check it out. Maybe not 12.5 million overnight, but probably a lot of people would be interested in any musical endeavor he wants to pursue. This song starts out pretty expectedly. It's pretty much par for the course. And a lot of people love that sound. And you know what? I don't necessarily dislike it. It's not necessarily my bag, but hey, there are some great pop songs out there.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening.
By the way, I don't get into lyrics because I'm not a poet. I don't know how to write lyrics. I have no authority to talk about lyrics, but watermelon on the table tastes like strawberry. Okay.
I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful and warm.
All right, so, pretty simple. So it's in C, right? The song is in C. We start on the 4, and we go up to the minor 6. And it sounded like it's the 1 chord, but I think it was the 5 in the bass, and then to the actual 5. Something like that, I think. So far, not bad, all right, I just already get the vibe that this is a totally fabricated, this is going to be the summer hit as we enter, we're approaching the end of May, June 21st, first day of summer. We gotta have a summer hit, right? I mean, what's summer 2020 without a good summer hit? Quarantine, I guess.
Breathe me in, breathe me out.
This is where I start to have an issue. Okay, so we're constantly coming back to this 9th as a melody note, okay? Now, the problem I have with it is this melody just feels like somebody came up to Harry with a hat and written on little pieces of paper in the hat are the notes of the major scale, and they just said, hey, Harry, pick 5. Okay, I don't know, here. Okay, sounds good. Did we have an order for this? No? Order doesn't matter? Got it. All right, there's your melody. Boom, done. The whole thing, that's it. Because this melody just feels like you could just pluck random notes from the C major scale and okay, here we go. Well, we're just gonna keep using this 9th as a motif. But the problem is like half of the lines in here they don't make sense. And this is another thing, we talked about this in the last video where it's like, is it technically correct? I mean, sure, in that the notes are not necessarily outside of the notes that will work with the chords you're using, but are they maybe in sequence, or I don't know how else to put that, but basically in such an order so as to make a melody that is not completely devoid of definition. And that's sometimes the problem with melodies like this, is that they're absolutely not memorable in any way, shape, or form. Again, nothing fundamentally wrong. Are they particularly good choices? Not really. I mean, we're going from the 3rd to the 2nd or the 9th, and then we land on the 6th. Fine, no, nothing wrong with that. This is the line that I probably have the biggest issue with, because that F just doesn't sound like it fits there. It doesn't sound wrong because it's technically not really wrong. It just doesn't really serve any purpose. It doesn't lead us anywhere. It gives us no information. It's just kind of there. It's the movement from F to A minor, because we're going. It's not so defined as to say it's wrong because this note is wrong and that note is wrong. Because like I said, I mean, do all the notes fit in the chords that they're supposed to be in? Yeah, but do they sound good in sequence? No.
I don't know if I could ever go without.
There's something missing with it that's making it not work to me. So the obvious reason that it sticks out as being like kind of not a great melody note choice there is because you have this C major chord with no alterations. It's just pure, just C major. And our melody note is now an F. And the natural 4 over top of the major chord just doesn't really work that well. That's why in jazz, when we have a major chord like that, even if it has a little more content, we're talking about upper extensions and stuff, we're going to fill out the chord more, we still do not use, unless specifically intended to do something. It's just in general on a major chord, we're not really going to use that natural 4. We're going to use the sharp 4, because it sounds so much smoother, it's so much better. It just has such a more pleasant quality than if I go, that it just doesn't fit in the chord. So even on just a straight C major chord, we still have that same problem, right? So it's that F that's kind of just out of place. It doesn't really work there. It's not wrong because it's a C major chord. C major scale contains F, sure does, but in the context of the melody, it's just not working. So like, how would that work? Is there a way to make that work? Well, sure. I mean, if you're gonna take that chord, you can make it work if you don't hold so, like if they had just kind of lifted off of that defined C major right there, it would have worked much better, because if I keep that root note going, but I allow my chords up in the top to shift with my melody, now that works fine. No problem. And it worked because even though I kept that bass C going, I let my right hand, because we're holding, our accompaniment is staying on that C major, that note just falls flat. It just doesn't work. It sounds awkward. It sounds weird. And this is why it's so frustrating to me, because it is such a simple thing to not only fix, but to hear and go, it sounds a little awkward. Could we make a change to that? Okay, say we wanted to keep that solid C major going in the bass. How could we change the melody so that it works? So we're trying to land on this, don't ever go without. So how can we get there? So, I don't know if I could ever go without. Maybe? I don't know. Why not? You know what I mean? Like that, I think, works better. Of course, other people might hear it differently, but to me, that just works so much better. And these are those simple things where it's like, it doesn't make it not pop. It doesn't magically turn it into jazz or something that's more complicated or less consumable or less marketable. It's just a simple thing that costs nothing, that can sound a little better, sound a little more, you know, complete, a little more sensible. And this is part of the thing that's frustrating too, is like, it would be easy for me to sit here and if I didn't think that Harry Styles was a capable singer or a capable musician or a capable songwriter or any of that, it would be easier for me to just sit here and say, oh, it sucks, oh, it's no good, blah, 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 like, you know, but I don't think that. And that's why it's like, what are the simple things that could be done here to just make it work a little better?
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar.
Groove is fine, you know, again, I think like the last video, it's could dig a little deeper into it, but hey, for the purpose of the song, this sort of summery kind of feel, sure, it works great, you know? I have no problem with that. I like how I say I have no problem, like I'm some authority on any of this stuff. Nobody cares if I have a problem with it.
Watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon.
This is gonna be mean. I'm sorry, like I really don't want to be mean. The melody reminds me when I used to teach like little kids and their first book, their like level 1 lesson book would have it's just what it sounds like to me. I'm sorry. It's just kind of like what I was saying, where it just feels like somebody told them to pick C major scale notes out of a hat, and they just kind of threw them all at a board and said, "All right, cool, this will work." Like it feels random. It feels pointless. It doesn't say anything. It's not memorable. It's just a combination of notes that work with the chords. You know, and I'm sure they probably started with the chord progression, and then they said, we want this to be a song about summer, about, you know, just like a feel-good kind of summer song. And like, sure, you know, that works, that's fine. And then when it came to the melody, I mean, I don't know if the lyrics were written first or whatever, but it's just like, what? I don't think there's a bridge. No, I think that's it. Okay, so, you know, hey, 4-chord songs, not a new thing. It's totally okay. There's plenty of 4-chord songs out there that are incredible. I have no problem with the chord progression. It works, it's fine, it's classic. Sure, but yeah, I don't know. It's just when I saw this on trending and I was like, geez, 10 million views in a day. Well, now, well more than that. I found myself going, why? Why does it sound like this? It doesn't have to sound like this. I guess you guys summed it up the best. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Hey, real quick, I wanted to point this out. I got something in the mail from one of you that I thought was really, really cool. This is from Ben Keating. Ben from Illinois sent me, greetings from the middle of Illinois, a place you'll most likely never visit for any reason ever. Ben, I'm from a place just like that, so I feel you. I transcribed your jazzed up coffin dance because what else is there to do in quarantine? Keep making music. Ben Keating. Ben, you're a legend, my friend. Look at what Ben did. Ben literally transcribed and wrote out my coffin dance video. That is so cool. You gotta understand, like that for me, just as a, like that's super cool. I don't know, I never thought that somebody from Illinois would send me a package containing my own transcription that they went through and put in the effort to that is just super cool. Ben, thank you. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Yeah, if you guys want to write a letter, say hi or whatever, I do have a P.O. box. It's in the description right down below. I would love to hear from you. It's so cool to hear from you guys. So thank you to Ben, and thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Apparently like 70% of people watching these videos have not subscribed. Please subscribe if you enjoy. I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who already has done so, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.